Live. Yep. Good evening, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ibikíbi tí gbogbo yín bá wà. Mo kí yín lọ́kùnrin, mo kí yín lóbìnrin. I salute you now, whether na mama, our pikin, our brother, our sister, everybody. Because of changes in media these days, things have not gone wild. It's just like things are now changed. Everybody's just doing their own thing the way they like it. But what we should not forget is the substance of whatever broadcast you want to make. The substance is key, because what the listeners, viewers want to see or hear is the information. Information is very, very important. Again, Oyibo is not our language. Yes, some people read it up to, in fact, past the Queen will die. In English. In fact, some of our people, the amount of English they know, some European leaders, they don't know it. But having said that, these are opportunities that were available, still available. But these days, because of nature of changes that is taking place in the whole world, people are using all possible means. In fact, sign language to tell them, all that kind of thing. So you need to key the message, get the message to people. Tonight, like another thing, my name is OtunbaHOO, also known as OtunbaHOO. A lot of people say OtunbaHOO, what is the WHO for? They think it's WHO. No, the WHO is Hashim Olabode Oseni, and it's a registered name. Before I continue, I want to ask you, friends and family, to please help share, like, love, send it to your Twitter account, go on Facebook and YouTube. So as I speak, I'm broadcasting from two major outlets, Facebook and YouTube. And as you are seeing, you say, Papa, don't put a lot to buy and read. Let me share. Let me share. You'll be sharing a lovely thing. You'll be sharing a lot. Because my guest tonight is a highly placed person in the community of the Yorubas. Let me put it that way. He's well known. Having said that, it's just like how many people we know, apart from if you're not the president of America. But incidentally, this guy, this man, this chief, this high chief, has some connections in high places. Because I know that during the time of Donald Trump, he had have kind of communication with him. Many people don't understand that these people in high places, they also want to talk to you. But I appreciate that if you don't have access to them, or even if you have access to them, you don't know how to get to them. That could be a problem. So when we have one or two or three of us who not only in government of Biden or Trump, but they only have access to their to them directly, let us appreciate that. That's how world work around. Tonight, I'm going to get my guest to just give a very brief introduction of himself, because Yorubani enoloro ni orotimantum. Again, like I said, bear with me. The part of the tonight's show that you don't understand, call your daughter, your friend. Lele, what did he say there? They will tell you. Because I'm not going to waste your time. What I want to pass to you is information. Alagba, good evening. Well, I think it should be good afternoon, because we are in the UK. It is after 5 now. After they have changed or added to our 1 hour. So we are 1 hour behind some countries and 13 hours behind some. Can you please introduce yourself to my listeners that are listening to you all over the world?
Otunba, thank you for having me. I don't know if the going on there.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm Chief Zents, Sowunmi. I'm based in New York, but I have all my and understanding Nigerian. I grew up in school in Nigeria. I also established my career before I left in 96 States of America. In between that, to Nigeria, and I've written many books on Nigeria, on Ogun State, and the world political event, and what we'll be discussing tonight. We can all take a cue or one or two things on how we can the politics and thank you very much.
Thank you. High shift. There's a normal shift. There's medium. There's when you start going high shift, you are just reaching the pinnacle of your chieftaincy. Not necessarily going to be over, but high shift is a highly respected league of the chieftaincies, as far as I know. I'm just an ordinary Otunba. Even some people want to make it look like Otunba, but my own Otunba is far back 82, and it wasn't a serious like a do or die these days that people will sell anything. We sell all their goats and sheep to get just ordinary oyetan. Tonight I'm going to engage you. We'll be gisting, we'll be talking about loads and loads of things, and then like I said, what is important is the mind that we want to disseminate, the information we want to disseminate to people, that they're going to look at it maybe in another 5 years when I will be probably 80. Then I can look back at this program and say, oh, this is what I did 5 years ago. And plus your age also, I mean, we're not really too far away from each other in terms of, and people will look and say, that was the show I did with OtunbaHOO 2022. And let me start by saying you have been in Europe for a substantial part of your life. But having said that, still does not take you what Yoruba people call Omoluabi. What is Omoluabi to you? What do you understand under Omoluabi?
The culture of age, wisdom, and understanding how to deal with people in such a way that you are not selfish, you are not thinking of yourself alone, and you have customs and tradition of your people, knowing fully well that you are operating in a society that is not totally your own. Meaning, if you see a stranger, you treat that person like a friend or like your own next of kin or family. That's why in the Yoruba part of Nigeria, everybody is treated as a friend. Omoluabi is the very way you want to be treated in any society. So you treat everybody with respect, with honor, and you don't allow yourself to get too much into your head by not considering others. That's my understanding of the Yorubas, by respecting the custom and the tradition of the people. That's why you find any Yoruba man outside his environment, he is not going to lord himself over anybody. He's going to respect the custom or the tradition of his host. He's not going to feel like I'm already part of here. Let me just lord my own idea. So that's how we or the Yoruba understand Omoluabi. Thank you.
Yeah, and Chief, you will agree with me that we are in the continent of Africa, Nigeria, and Yoruba people in particular. We are in a space where we are more or less the largest community of combined Africans, Nigerians in a place. And you also agree with me that virtually all continents of this world can be found in America, or the same thing in Europe. Yeah. And when you want to break it down, substantial part of these immigrants are Nigerians. Let me put it that way. Nobody can beat that figure. It's just the same thing in America. There are more Nigerians in America than other people from Colombia. I don't know of Chinese. I'm not going to start competing. But I'm going somewhere in terms of the Nigerians. We happen to be highly educated migrants or immigrants. Am I right to say that?
You're right.
But then again, the thing that worries people like me or someone like me is we are giving out all what we have to outside country. This is not a biased question. This is not a biased consideration. This is just a consideration that I think the Oyibo people themselves, they will like it. But some of them will say, oh, we would have really loved to be living in Badagry or living some part of Abeokuta, working with you. Because migration is something, it's all over, it's just like a river. People migrate from one place to another. But because of one kind thing or another in our country, Nigeria, we are not there. People like you, who is vast in virtually area of consideration, somebody can put it. You deliver more to civilized country than to developing countries. Why is that? I'm also guilty of it, but I want to ask you, why is that? How did we find ourselves in such a situation?
A study revealed that in America today, the most educated immigrants, they are from Nigeria. Our children are doing better than any person in America. The largest number of lawyers and those in the computer industry than any other. Just a little behind India. Apart from India, when it comes to medicine and computer, the next area of Nigeria. Now you now ask why everybody decided to move to Nigeria and come over here. The challenges in Nigeria are so much that you may not be able to realize your potential because you have so many things you have to struggle. For example, if you don't have electricity, how can you study or read to a level that you can be a writer? You know, one of the best surgeons or doctors in America schooled in Nigeria. He studied medicine, but he performed a kind of surgery that he took the unborn baby out of the mother, performed the surgery, and then put it back. You see,
Fantastic fit. Yeah,
if
did
that
not come.
person had allowed to stay in Nigeria, he probably wouldn't have gotten all the facilities to help him. But that's in Nigeria. You see, we have a lot of people doing well here that have been a better plus for us back home in Nigeria if we have a good system, that we could trace the fault of it to 1960. And when we got our independence in 1960, our founding father, as I will call the founding father, Awolowo in the Western region, Ahmadu Bello from the northern region, then Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. They realized that we are a nation of over 225 tribes. And when you have such a nation, the only way you can govern such a nation correctly is through federalism, where every region will allow or will be allowed to grow and develop to realize the maximum potential. So the growth was so much then that nobody had interest in committing crime. At that time, you could leave yourself outside and then you find it secondary. Because coming to overseas at that time wasn't something that was so fantastic. And as soon as you are here, the government system will take care of you and you have to go back home. I think it's the other way. We're talking at the time when Naira was 57 cents, 57 Naira to 57 cents, 57 kobo, or 57 penny, sorry.
Yeah.
To a dollar.
Almost 1 to 1.
No, even less than that.
Mm.
If you had 57 kobo, you get a dollar. Are you getting me now? I bought it when I was working for National Bank in Nigeria. Are you getting me now? So I'm telling you that time the ticket to London was about $199. 199 Naira to fly to London. That was how Nigeria was. But all of a sudden, things changed. The military came in, messed up the whole thing. They threw away our regional government, and they went as far as making it like a unitary system where one person at the top could decide what could happen. And it wasn't how you can grow a nation with over 225 tribes and with 2 or 3 major languages or religions. You can grow a nation that way. And that is what we are still trying to look into since 1960 or since 1966. Where did we go wrong? I was telling somebody a few days ago, I said in 1976 or so, when Murtala Muhammad became the head of state, I was a staff of National Archives then in Ibadan. All of a sudden, they just fired so many people. They sent them away. Most of them had no property because they had 1 or 2 queries in their files, 1 or 2 things that they've done that was negative. Murtala Muhammad asked them to leave the civil service without benefits. You know what happened? All those who replaced those people now decide to fine-tune their own future in case they too will be retired. What do I have to keep? So that was how corruption started. So I used to tell people that Murtala Muhammad laid the foundation for the corruption in the civil services. Because all those who replaced those that were fired at that time in 1976 or so became much more vast. in the act of how to manipulate the system. So they started building houses, they started over-invoicing the contracts, they started doing so many things. And this thing doesn't stop like that, it keeps growing. By the time we were having the first or second republic, what's his name, Shagari, by the time he became the head of state, the corruption was a lot. But it got to a stage that a country called Ghana, Rawlings said the cost of what was the national budget for Ghana for the whole year was what we used to import rice. You understand? The cost, the budget for the whole country called Ghana was the amount we all used to import rice. That we have a very large population that we are not utilizing the opportunities that we have. But if we had stayed with our true federalism, we had followed all those rules as it was in 1960 or 66. In 1966, we will have gotten it right. So all those things led to frustrations that everybody wants to leave the country. 80% or 90% of all our graduates, they are just working in Nigeria looking for a way to get out. Very few. Once they can see one opportunity of getting out, they're going to leave. But it wasn't like that in the 60s or early 70s. It was the reverse. Everybody wanted to come back home. But now it's like everybody wants to go. You will see people now that they have retired at 60, 70 or something. They still want to get out of Nigeria. Why? I want to come and stay with my kids. In the 60s, the children will have to be the one to go back home to take care of the parents. And the parents are the one now moving to overseas to go be with the children. You know? So these are almost all areas that we all need to look into. As long as we refuse to go back to the 1960 agreement of true federalism in a nation of 225 tribes, 3 major languages or religion or whatever. In my book, The Virtuous and the Vulnerable, I think I mentioned there that you have 3 or 4 major problems in Nigeria: religion, tribalism, and Godfather mentality. If you don't have any of those 3, you cannot succeed. You know? So if you have to know how to perfect those 3 areas to be able to succeed. If you are a Muslim, you know who to talk to. And if you're a Christian, you need to talk to. I think Fela mentioned all this in his song, how people use religion to play politics and to have headway. And don't let me keep talking. Maybe I'll respond to your next question. If we go back to what we call true federalism, we may find our way back to prosperity. Thank you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I heard you very well. Because of the following: experience, age, maturity, education, and other things that are supposed to be together. If you want to cook a good stew, you need to have all these ingredients together. The question is, there's a word called correction. That word correction make consideration for things that are not right. We should these things that are wrong, we should right them. What are the efforts of well, I don't want to start blaming you or blame myself. What are the efforts of we Nigerians the last 62 years? What are the efforts did we put in place to fix this problem, because even if you want us to start from 1976 when Murtala Muhammad was there, I think he was killed. Was it killed 75? It doesn't matter. What are the efforts? People like you and I, what have we done to right the wrongs, to right all these anomalies, all these things that you just mentioned, things that are not right? That up to today, let me finish that. Up to today, that we are still in a state of idiotum. We are still like struggling to govern ourselves in a normal way, because the last couple of governments we have, none of them has been useful. None of them have done anything. But tell me, because I know you also you are into everything. You are economically trained, legal trained, some other things, publishing, and also you are into politics, politics is usually the height of every. Even a professor in Nigeria, it doesn't seem himself to get to his potentials until when he joined a party, which I think is wrong. But then, tell me, the word correction. What have we, or why couldn't we have made changes to correct the anomalies? Because as far as I'm concerned, as we speak, there is a long list of woes, there are a long list of anomalies, things that are just not normal with the country called Nigeria. Well, tell me something different.
It's not totally right to say that we have not done anything to correct the problems. But a lot of stuff happen to be.
What are these stumbling blocks? I'm sorry to interrupt you. What are these stumbling blocks?
We said in 1956, the soldiers took over the government. But majority of them never left the government today. Those who caused the problem, like I will a general, most of the generals. Some of them are still involved in politics. And as long as you don't remove all those encumbrances, you can move forward. For example, here in the US, there is nothing called National Council of States. Are you getting me now? Once you finish your term, you are out of that. But you will still have the way of assembling the past leaders. If you say Bada was bad, or you said Bada was bad, or whoever was there that wasn't good, but you is a member of the National Council of whatever you call them today. So it means somehow certain policies they introduce cannot be changed, because they will still be there protecting that. You see? How do you get, if you don't change the constitution to say once you are president, you complete your term, there is nothing like council of state or elders or anything for you. You just go. So the new state can organize, arrange, and move forward. That's why most of them that are running for office today, they first of all go to Mina to go meet with IDB. They go and meet whoever, sometimes they all go there. To do what? To tell them that what they did, that you are trying to correct, in most of them will give you no-go area. Or they will show you the rope. This is what we find out that almost 60 to 70% of Nigerian oil, they are still in it now. Now this is the situation. We can produce 50 million barrels. Sorry, 5 million barrels every day. But we went to join OPEC. OPEC now says you cannot produce more than 2.7. Meaning the 2.3, you can't produce it. But that does not mean that they're not producing it. They're producing it, but they're not reporting it. Now, it now got to a level that those people are still the 2.3 million barrels per day. They are not comfortable. They now go inside the 2.7 million that's supposed to be for the nation. And we are now left with 1.1 million barrels a day from a country that can produce 5 million. What is happening to the rest of the barrel? Like somebody said at one time last weekend, how can you steal oil without the knowledge of the Nigerian Navy? It's not possible. Because you have to take in your whatever thing they use to pick up the oil. You understand? To bring it in, they give them approval, and they load the ship, and then they take it out. So the government knows stealing the oil. How come none of them have been prosecuted or arrested? You know, because this is a carry on venture from present and the past government. They all work together. That's what they discussed in the National Council of Leaders of Forever. Who will join the cartel? Until we have the constitution, we remove that area. Check their hands off it. Now, you now say, what have we done in the last 62 years to correct it? Well, this country produced Gadify Tunji Braithwaite lawyer. You know how they spent all their years and days or whatever in court. We saw people like Kunle who sang against the people. We saw what happened to him and his family and his mother. Even at a president of the Students' Union, like Lado, late is dead now, he led a movement against the government. He was not allowed to graduate, which is called he died 42 years after he was not even given a certificate. Despite the fact that he graduated from the Yabatech. So there's a limit to which you can do, or Nigerians can do, to fight the system, unless you want the government, which is controlled by the military, to turn the guns against them. So when you protest, and the government is out with the gun or whatever, what are you going to do? You give up. So it got to the level that Nigerians are now used to being punished. Nobody is ready to protect the letters of the Constitution up to the Supreme Court. Until we can develop that idea, as the government says you are wrong at what they call the first level of the judiciary, you go to the Court of Appeal, you disagree, you drag it to Supreme Court. Don't give up on any case as the primary level until you get to the Supreme Court. By the time we keep doing that, we may find answers to some of our problems. But at the moment, everybody is tired. Because the poverty is so much. All we are thinking of is how do I feed my family. You understand that? Only what do you call it? This man hierarchy of need. You have to meet the 3 levels of food, shelter, and clothing. You've got to fulfill all these areas before you can take a progress. In overseas countries there, if you don't want to work or you have a problem, the government will give you a lot of support. They give you a place to live. We have not passed that level. That's why corruption is difficult to wipe away. If you want to say somebody should not vote for somebody because he thinks he's corrupt, give that person $1,000. It's going to look at you that this naira is better than your own promising that the way the manager is the right thing. Let me take care of what I can do now. So these are the areas. Poverty is a number one challenge to all these areas that can be. But we cannot do it. until we go back to true federalism, where each region or each tribe will be able to develop itself and protect their own values. Because you see, the values of the East is affecting the values of the West, and the value of the North is affecting the value of the East. And eventually, we cannot get the value that we thought we were going to have in 1960 anymore. You cannot mix two, three things together and expect to get the same thing individually that you have. One has to give way to the other. If you have a son who says good morning to you and prostrate on the floor, and is a friend to an evil person who just wave hand to a crowd and say hello. By the time your son is going to greet you, he's just going to bend a little bit. He's not going to prostrate anymore. Because they are getting into each other. That is what is going on all over the country. So a team in the southwest is learning from a team from the east, from the north, and they produce a smarter team than the rest of it. Because that's what we imagine. We imagine imagine people that they don't share values together. But we can keep those values by operating with what we call true federalism. If we do that, we may be able to get the future back again. So we have to go back to the 1960 value of what we both, all of us agree. Otherwise, I keep talking about the problem every time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 99% of your response to my question is the effect of the effect which are the problems we have so far, and we'll be having, and probably we're going to continue to have. What concerns me here most is if somebody comes to you, Chief Zents, and say, well, since 1966, with the intervention of the military, and they have bastardized the constitution that make provision for good things to come that we could achieve. And ever since, we've not been able to make a better way outside this problem. And if somebody comes to you and say, now I can highlight to you that the biggest problem facing this country is the constitution, because there's no country in the whole universe that hasn't got a constitution, because it's the main umbrella. With the constitution, if we continue to have this a kind of contracted, already we were forced to live together far back 1914. To just come out, we're trying to come out of it 2014, when the 100-year caveat expired. That we now, but it still shows clearly that we are still struggling to run ourselves. And a couple of times you use the word, as a student of political science, true federalism make provision states clearly that components, groups of people together in the country, you should be able to either come together in a separate format and do your business separately, and then you can have a national, a loose kind of leadership. That's right. Yeah, that loose leadership could be in charge of maybe foreign affairs, military, defense, and some other little things, or national currency, or whatever it is. Now, my chief, I want to say to you that if I say to you, I wanted to take you towards the end, part of what I believe could be one of the solutions. But for some reasons, because of the kind of the level where we are, I want to take you over 30,000 feet above the level where we are now. We're still demonstrating, we're still showing the world that we are not capable of ruling ourselves. Why is that? We still believe that some of us just want to be only for themselves. They just want to be me, and I. They don't have belief that the country should be a one place, and everything and anything we do, we should be able to contribute in terms of governance for everybody. But because we have not been able to achieve that, there's now a group of three major groups that make Nigeria as we speak, now saying to us, hang on a minute, 62 years after independence, blah, 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 62 years of independence, how many years of freeing ourselves from slave, how many years of this and that, we think we had enough. This group now saying, you know what, just let us rearrange, readdress, reappraise our relationship. So in the process, the Yoruba people now say to everybody and say, you know what, we cannot continue, because you said it in your introduction. You even said it in some of your contribution now, that we will not be able to make progress as long as we stay in a relationship that not only abusive, but is not helpful. It's a relationship that's making life difficult for some people. You and I are not suffering. I mean, you are a big man in America in your own right. I live as a pensioner in the UK. My need is not all that much anymore. But we have millions of our people in Nigeria who are going through hell. They are being denied of virtually everything. Mention one good thing in life that an average Nigerian can be proud of. Forget whether it's Yoruba, Hausa, Zakwa, Europe. They don't have virtually nothing because they don't have any of these basic things available to them regularly or basically. So the question again is, what do you think this group, the Yoruba, let me be specific, that say, you know what, we cannot continue like this. We cannot have a progressive life. We cannot continue to prosper if we have a constitution that makes it impossible. Because all what you said is all about the constitution that makes it impossible. The Constitution of America, apart from the individual country that make America, you understand me? If you are not happy in New York, you can choose to go to New Jersey. How many? About 2 miles, I don't know how many, about 2 hours drive. You can go and register there and live there. Or you go to Philadelphia. But we have a situation in our country that 99% of governance rules, regulations is vested, is in the hand of particular section. So the question again to you is, how do you think the Yoruba people who say we want to leave, why would you want to tell them that not to leave, not to ask for that freedom? We have enough. It's not working. This is a relationship. It's not working. Just let us go. And then other people, they want to go. You also stay on your own. Let's work together. Who knows? Maybe in 100 years' time, we'll come back together.
If the Yoruba actually want to it's the same information give to the people asking for job. Table it at the National Assembly. And you get it now.
Yeah.
Anything
it has been done.
If we table it at National Assembly in Abuja, that we want to be out of Nigeria. Nope, I'm not seeing any of our senators or any of our assembly members that are stable for discussion. You understand? Mm. If we start through all the states, about 6 or 7 of them we have in the Southwest, to pass the law or a resolution in the state of assembly. I'm just looking at how it can be legally done based on the way I look. If all the state house of assembly pass a resolution that in the southwest or the western Nigeria we want to be out of Nigeria, then we mandate our senators to present to the National Assembly. Maybe we'll be taken serious. But if we are operating outside the system, we're creating a situation where we are not better than what the opponents are doing. And all you need to do is to make one simple mistake. They will label it as a treasonable fellow or bring soldiers to wipe away or kill so many people that they've been doing. That is one way. Number two, like you're not until you have a conducive leadership at the top, your demand will not be listened to. If you remember, it was when Vice President Oshibajo was the acting president when Buhari was in that Kanu came up in the east after the Biafra, and he allowed them to keep on doing it. But immediately Buhari came back, I think he went hard, very hard on them. Eventually the guy was arrested and put him. See, Russia, USSR broke into 8 countries or something.
23.
Because they had a Egba who listened to them and said, okay, this is not working. Let's break this. Russia, USSR did not go to war. They met and just dissolved the Soviet Union. But we have not been able to get a president who can listen to the demand of our people and say, is this union working? Like you said, 62 years of marriage. If it doesn't produce any baby, any prosperity, if you marry a woman for 52 years, she doesn't have any baby. You don't build a house. You don't get promotion. Like Bishop Ilausa said one time, certain things in life, you don't need a soothsayer or a pastor to go into dreams, to whatever, before you can realize that it's not working. I don't have to preach for you to get promotion when you stay in a job for 5 years and they didn't promote you. Leave. Go get another job. That's what Ilausa said. So don't come to church and be asking for Ilausa to lay his hands on you, on your. He said it's Nabekta when he came to Nabekta, when they are. And I took a lesson from any job I have worked in my life. If I work there for 3-4 years, I can't see anything going on there. I don't need to talk to anybody. I worked for a company in Dallas before they hired me. This is a personal experience. I don't know if I will say that here. When they hired me, I told them, I said, what can I be in this company in 3 years? Oh, you can be this, you can be that, you can be anything. They give me any experience. And after 3 years, I called for a meeting. I said, I've been 3 years here. What's going on? Oh, do I need to go back to school? And I acquire more education. Because this is what you guys promised me. And I've applied for things and that's as a company, I'm not moving for it. Oh, give us time, we are thinking of something. I said, I'm not giving you any time. I'm leaving today. I quit. That's why I left. You see, the problem with us is that if things are not working, we rather grumble instead of taking action. Any tribe that doesn't want to be part of Nigeria, we start with National Assembly. We pass the resolution in all our House of Assemblies, and then move as a team and go to the National Assembly. We don't want to be part of it. We have never done that. It means we have not done the basic things required for us to say we want to leave Nigeria.
I must interrupt you there. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please, with due respect. I think that line of suggestion, I can tell you for free that we have exhausted it.
We have exhausted it.
We have, but then the problem we have, which is really very interesting, is the people that are supposed to be part of that demand, part of that request. They are those ones who are against. And I can say that loud. Most of the senators, the House of Rep, representing millions of Nigerians, and they have refused to follow it up. We have done it. As a matter of fact, the last 2 months, a letter was dispatched to the executive, to the judiciary, also to the legislature, and also all to the governors. Again, like I said, Chief, we have not received anything favorable, because as far as they are concerned, the process and procedure, which I'm going to take you as the next question, because I want you to process it for me to tell us, to tell my viewers, that the process and procedure will always lead us to we're not going anywhere. And you tell my listener, my viewers, what is the process and procedure to amend? Because if had been a clause, it's because there's no clause in the Constitution that allows, if you're not happy, go. Put in an application and then you can go. But because that particular clause is just not there, that's what is causing problem with the Easterners and the Yoruba people now. So tell me, what else can we do? Because what you are saying, we have already done it. We already done it severally, jointly, many times, but we did not get any joy. The last 3 months, I can tell you for free that there's a letter that was dispatched, almost 35 pages letter, that was dispatched to the executive, judiciary, and the legislature for this consideration. So, what else do you think a group that is not happy with what is going on in the last 62 years, what else do you want to suggest?
Another way that this can be solved, apart from war, which nobody is hoping for, is to go through federalism.
Federalism is not allowed. It's not possible, sir. I've just said to you. No. Let me. The federalism. You sorry. It's your show. I mean, generally, I want to give you all the time, but I need to guide you also. I need to also say to you, federalism has not been working. It's not going to work, and it cannot work with the present contraption, with the present constitution that make up Nigeria as we speak. It's not going to work. Here we have part of federalism. Don't forget that nothing can work in isolation. Some of the things that make true federalism is that each area, each whether a local government or state government or whatever, should be able to work to develop their area.
That's right.
And part of it is security. Part of it is like generating power. I don't need to ask you, because you're a highly learned person. You know that the main area to develop in a true federalism have been locked up, not concealed. They have been locked up in the 1999 Constitution. Somebody was killed in Onisha, or somebody was killed in Akure. Policing is somewhere in Abuja. Electricity generation, up to maybe or whatever, you cannot do it. You have to take permission from the federal minister of this. Water, everything they want, all the powers, all the tools, all what it takes to run a proper federalism. And that's why I just gave you an example of Philadelphia.
Let me come in.
Yes.
I want you to listen to Obama's speech. It called titled I remember towards improving the system. He went further to say in 1789, when the Constitution was ratified by all the states in America, or the colonies to start first. They realized it was not perfect.
Yeah.
And they went for amendment. So the American Constitution wasn't a perfect document. On the day it was written and signed by all, including one person, Madison. James Madison. He practically wrote the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
One person. 80% of they were all in society. Everybody just went there to agree with him to see what he could do. But in between, they started perfecting that constitution. I think they have more than 29 or 30 amendments.
33.
33 now. To be able to make it a constitution that everybody is talking about has been, even as it is now, they are still working on how to improve or destroy some areas of it. Areas like Second Amendment that allowed Americans to carry guns. Because most of them never had state police at that time. They were living in the rural area and being attacked by anything. So the government passed a law that you can have a gun. Now you have state police and everything. What do we do with it? So they are looking into that area. Now there are some areas of Nigerian constitution, or majority of them are not perfect because of the way it was written. We need to send people to the National Assembly who can believe in changing the constitution. But like I said, poverty is a problem. Anybody that wants to run for office, once you have money, you can talk your way to religion or tribalism. You go to Abuja, they are not representing us or representing the people. That's why you cannot send any amendments to them. The issue for the state police was on the table of Obasanjo when he was president. I wrote a paper on it. I wrote on how state police and city police started in America. From the state of New York and Texas. There were two states that started it. And they put it in their constitution later on that it is not compulsory for every state to adopt it. If you feel like. So why are we asking the federal government to give us state police? Let us ask for state police for states that can afford it. Maybe if Sokoto doesn't like it, they will stay with the federal police. And Ogun State, my state, may like state police and city police. And I've told them, I said, don't let us even say, don't let us work for state police. Let us go to the city police. Abeokuta can have Abeokuta Police Department, like you have in New York here. New York Police Department. You understand?
All what you are saying, I just said to you, all these possibilities have been locked in the 1999 Constitution. You cannot be amended. No, they can be amended. Now, and that takes you and I to process and procedure. The process will be to go through the 774 local governments, put in, take out, add, or whatever you want to do, and then comes to voting on them. Voting on them recently, there was an amendment. Sowunmi. There was an amendment that took billions or whatever, took almost about a year. Guess what? Out of 37, it's only 11 states that ratify it. So what can we cannot?
One moment. When Jonathan was president,
yeah,
and there was a constitutional review committee, which many of them went to national
conference, 2014.
We discovered there was a law in the constitution that did not give the president the power, the authority to have the final signature on amendment. Instead of the National Assembly to just pass that thing as it was, Jonathan said he had to sign that. The National Assembly should have insisted that you don't have the authority to stop or to have your signature on the amendment. I immediately gave it to you. He put it aside. He wanted to use it to campaign for re-election. And he lost. And most of the amendments they were trying to get out of the constitution, they were the things that was wrong with the constitution that gave more power to the North to Sowunmi. So when somebody from the South thought he was going to win the second term, what he could have corrected immediately with his signature, he took it. And what happened when Buhari got there, you are asking him to sign anything that will reduce the power from the law. So that's what people can talk whatever they like about Tinubu today, because all the things that were in the manifesto of APC given to Buhari, he didn't do most of them. State police was part of it. Restructuring was part of it. Even though when the committee was set up, they gave it to El-Rufai and the vice president. They submitted it to the president. He put it aside because against the system that that was a product of the military that we are trying as much as not to disengage power from. So until you have a president who understands how democracy works, then he can allow all this power to let go. So you can.
Dr. Sowunmi, I'm sorry. You have so many caps. I can call it. I know, and I respect you. I am saying to you, I can take a bet of any amount that I worth today that 20 of Tinubu's, if he wins the election tomorrow, he cannot, because like I just said to you, there's a process and procedure. Tinubu will have to go through the process and the procedure. The process will be he only can he can only execute the legislation, the legislations of the executive, of the legislature. And at the end of the day, to amend, you just said it, and I remember telling 33 times America, after almost about 1 and something years of their constitution, it's about 33 times they've not been able, have reasons, have needs to change it. If we have 20 of Tinubu's who cannot single-handedly, whether he has majority, but the majority of the people are still the same rotten Nigerians that are there, he will not be able to make any difference. And by the way,
that is an assumption.
No.
So you can.
If he's a president,
excuse me. When
he has to follow the process and the procedure. He has to follow the process and the procedure. The procedure is to vote on whatever he suggested or whatever he wants to change. He will never and he cannot get majority because the majority is always lies in the north. So with that, what are we talking? It's just like somebody asking you, it's just somebody asking, continue drawing water in the basket. It's not going to work. You and I know that.
Can I come in there?
Yes, please.
Body language of the president when is most important. When Tinubu was interviewed in Kano or present, he told them that he was happy that majority of the northern government they supported state activities that he has been on. But he told them that you need constitution and amendment. And everybody realized that. But one thing is certain, once the president is determined to do the right thing, he may not get all the things done, but he will get some of them. But when Jonathan introduced BVN, which we now use today, that time you can open 20 accounts in the bank without anybody knowing. But Buhari couldn't change it because it's a good policy. All we need is a president that will introduce good policy. No, why didn't somebody question EFCC today? EFCC was not part of the constitution before. Obasanjo introduced it.
Yeah, but then again, the larger question is, what's the effect of EFCC when an EFCC manager, EFCC Director General can steal so much humongous amount of money when they are an accountant general? Look, you see, at the end of the day, all laws are supposed to have effect. All laws are supposed to take its courses. We don't have that in Nigeria. We don't have that in Nigeria. Yeah.
If after Obasanjo left office, and this guy came in, the first thing he did was to remove Bada and put one Waziri, the wife of one of the people. And all the governors that were under the watch list of the FEFCC, they all let them go. You understand? That was what happened. So he came and weakened the system. But we need to improve our system that any coming president will not have the power to weaken the system, but to improve it. We realize the mistakes of CFCC. It wasn't perfect when Obasanjo was there. The next administration should have tightened it up. But instead, they weaken it. But let's look at the issue of this BVN now, like I was talking about. This BVN, which Jonathan introduced, Buhari came in there, and he started, if we can link that BVN with all the properties we have in Nigeria, anybody, if we have a system that says every property in Nigeria must be linked with your tax ID and BVN, corruption will disappear. No. Because you just get a bill. You will get a bill. You will get a bill from the federal inland revenue that you have a property that is 100. How come you are paying 50,000 in a year? You understand? Because the system is there. You cannot even transfer this property to your kid that is 12 years old or 14 years old. So we need a system that can be improved or proved. And when we start coming into weakening it. So if when Tinubu was governor of Lagos, he introduced some kind of financial regulations that have been able to help the state from whatever they are generating more. The next administration could have improved on it, because when he was governor, I understand the thing was 600 and he went to 8 billion before he left. Today they are improving on it. They are on 51 billion per month. The same thing can be applied to every sector. So it's the body language of the president. If the president of Nigeria today wants to introduce state police, he will find a way to get it done. But if it's so power centered, okay, all the power belongs to him now at the federal level now. I can use to victimize anybody. You will throw that away. Without what Buhari did, it was in the manifesto of APC to have state and city police. But he got there, he threw it away. You understand? Because I remember
very unusual interruption. New York, UK. Very unusual. But I'm told that sometimes there could be power interruption in also in civilized country. Are you back? I was just saying,
so it depends on the president. So I'm not guaranteeing that he will come and become perfect. Like you said, for example, Lagos State created so many local governments in Lagos State. You remember? He created local government.
Of course, he added about 37 LCDA.
Yes. And he won the case up to Supreme Court.
Yes.
And Supreme Court said what he did was illegal. It was legal. But National Assembly need to ratify those things. And if he now becomes the president, he cannot put the ratification of this local government. Then he must be guilty of what he was accusing of Obasanjo for. Because he has created so many problems for himself as a governor, asking for certain things for the state. If he now becomes the president, he can allow the state to have them. Then it's a shame on him. You understand? Because
it will be a shame on him, because I have no doubt in my mind that Tinubu knows better than putting his head to want to be president of a country where he knows that the constitution, the structure, and the premises in the country are just not working. And that is the truth. There's no structure, the system is completely obsolete in terms of it's just not working for anybody. We are talking a while ago about the EFCC. EFCC is one of the most corrupt institutions in Nigeria. Custom is corrupt. All the institutions that are given to federal government to run, which in the first place, that's very wrong. It should have never been so. But because of everything, all the powers of a country that's supposed to be a true federalism shared by different states and so on, was concentrated on federal government. Now, with that, again, I want to take you back, Chief Sowunmi. If the process and procedure we always lose, will always be lost when it gets to voting, because like I just said to you, a monumental part of this country where constitution was supposed to be amended, even though it's not properly amended, but then most of the northern governors, because they always say you can't take that away from us. I have posted Dr. Ahmed something to you, who is so rudely calling the South that we cannot tell them in the North what to do, that they are in the majority. And I keep telling you, he is speaking for the North. The North will always be majority of wanting to make it impossible to change the constitution to a more friendly, a more workable, a more whatever constitution. Like I said, unfortunately, the Yoruba people have said, enough is enough. We can't continue doing a try and error, and nobody can continue to tell us, drawing water. It's just not going to work. Like I said, by the time anybody if there's any whatever, whoever is there will not be able to change, because the majority of people who want to change the constitution, they are in the North, and they are saying it Monday to Friday. They are saying it Monday to Friday that constitution can never be changed. They're not going to sign the majority. I mean, they're not going to allow the certain part of the constitution to be changed because they are benefiting from it. Let me quickly take you away from this area. The Igbos. Here again, we have a country that says they don't like Igbos. They said openly that Igbo should never be a president. I don't want us to dwell in the antecedents of what their forefathers have contributed in terms of he's one of the causes of the problem of the constitution, because he insisted that Nigeria should not be divisible, and all that kind, which I think is very stupid of him to have put his foot down. Now, what will you say to your Igbo friend if a country say they don't want to hear from them, they don't want to see them, and at the same time they don't want them to be president? What will you say to them?
It's unfortunate that the Igbos have to go to what in a country where the chances of becoming president has been locked up into the past. These are the things punishment you get by going to war. When you lose, it takes a long time, because the presidency of any nation is the trust of the whole country. The presidency is for people with all trust, because it's a vote. Collectively, we got to put our foot and say, we trust you, Mr. Chukuma, to be our president. It's not the only people that will vote. The Yorubas have the people that have fought with you in the past, the enemy. They have to be able to have a change of mind and say, we can trust you, and you be our friend. That will never be what happened in the past. Like I said before, if Nigeria is still having that attitude about the Igbo, why do you teach them leaving the country? You can't make them. It doesn't even make sense. You understand? If you feel you don't have the right to become president, then they do not be in your country. But if they are here, you give them equal rights like every other person, so that they can contest and feel. But they too, on the long run too, must demonstrate the attitude that sense of belonging is for everybody. Like somebody was telling me that Tinubu was saying, the local, it should have allowed another person to become, particularly from the Igbo. I said, Tinubu formed his own political party, just like they formed APGA in the East, and it developed to a level that he wasn't the first person to run for president from the party he formed. So another one or two on all the 3 or 4 parties that he had before he now put himself forward and say it is done to become president. If the Igbos too want to be president, they can take a cue from what he did from a political party. Put 1 or 2 people out, like Kunle did, like he put Buhari out. Let them put Yoruba man 2 out for president. So when they now ask for it, the Yorubas will support them. That is the way I look at it. Tinubu worked for APC. He created it. Practically, it was Lagos money, Lagos state money that was used to finance. That was what I said about some years ago. When somebody was saying that APC had controlled Lagos State for so many years, I said, no, Lagos State cannot finance APC to win the presidency only for the APC to be in the opposition. It doesn't make sense. So that's why they need to keep Lagos. They work for the creation of the man who won the presidency. They too, the East too should do that. They need to work with everybody. Sacrifice 1 or 2 times for people. When Olufalayi was asked whether Igbo man stepped down for him, he said no, nobody stepped down for him. In 1979, he even said nobody stepped down for continent. Tinubu stepped down for Bada, Atiku, and Buhari in his own political party. So they need to do that. Set up something. Give to some people support. So by the time you now ask that they want them to do beside you, they will give you the support. But if we are to line up, try buy something. As I told some of my friends, I said we have 250 clients. All of them are entitled to become president. Every tribe in Nigeria is entitled to become president.
Yeah, for those, I will not have anything against for those who still believe in Nigeria as a country.
No, excuse me. If all the 250 tribes can become president, anybody who now thinks that he wants to be president, he has to do something extra. You form party, you call people together, you help them. By the time you now say, I want to do this, they will support you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I wish them all the best. But as far as we Yoruba, I'm one of the campaigners. There's no place for Yoruba to stay in that union anymore. And we are going to do it. We are doing and we continue to do and we will do everything possible legally to make sure that we exit Nigeria, we exit the union. But I quickly want to take you to some other area. The problem of security. Directly or indirectly, Yoruba is yet to become a nation, and I hope and believe that will be the good news that you and I will share. You are an authentic Yoruba person. You are a high chief in Egba land. Egba land is one of the main components of Yoruba land, and hence I don't know where the capital is going to be. It's going to be not unlikely that the capital of Yoruba land may be in Abeokuta or something. But that is not the major issue. The major issue I want to take you on is security. The insecurity that is now the bane, the biggest problem facing Nigeria now, which we, Yoruba, are still, unfortunately, still part of it. What's your take on how the country have let off their guard to a point that the terrorists, the SWAP, is now even threatening to wanting to take over the government of Nigeria, which again, like I said, this is also part of our considerations that Yoruba want to exit, you don't want to be part of that. if we are in a country, we will have at least secure our borders. Our border is not going to be so porous as it is today. What's your take on the security of Nigeria and the threat being posed by the ISWAP?
The Yoruba, as a tribe, we occupy a very unique position for the black race. In terms of our religion and what we represent to the black race. I remember I was in the train station. I met a white guy. Immediately he had that my tribe is Yoruba. He said, I hope you are worshiping Yoruba gods. I told him, which of the gods? He said he would or something. So he mentioned that. I said, we are Christians. He felt so disappointed. It was, I looked to him, it's like you, a Christian, seeing somebody, and he asked you, where are you from? And he said, from Bethlehem. It's going to look like somebody who came from where Jesus Christ was born. You remember that? Or Mecca. Or you think that was where Muhammad was born? And he went into a epistle of how they kept their religion, African religion. And I took my time to read more about it. Today, we have more people in Brazil worshiping African religion more than we have at home.
Yeah.
If we had remained a separate country without being part of Nigeria, we would have been the door of the black. People have been coming all over just to come and see. But me in Nigeria, it has dissolved the uniqueness of the Yoruba, the black people.
That we are trying to regain that.
And one of the reasons why those who are clamoring for the Yoruba state, some Yoruba country, or Yoruba nation, is part of the problem. How do we bring, how can we gain all those things we have lost?
We will get it back.
Like I was talking to another person, I said, in 1960, our stakeholdership in Nigeria was 33.5%. After now, we have only 16%. That's how far they have come. And you ask me why? We were never Southwest. We've always been Western Nigeria. The land they call Southwest today is still the same area they call Western and Southwest.
Yeah.
So when did we change our name? Are you getting that? What happened? When did we become Southwest? We've always been, we joined Nigeria as the Western region. And that's what we are. We are not Southwest. Southwest is the way of touching the Yoruba into Lirutin in Nigeria. But people don't look at it and that. Maybe I'm looking at it in the extreme way. And I told people, most people, I said, in 1914 or 1915, when Egba United government joined Nigeria, we were never part of what was an amalgamation of North and South. We were a separate country. But when we joined as a separate country, we have been marginalized from our land. That people from Ido, Ibutemeta, they used to report to Alake in Abeokuta.
Yeah.
Now we have been reduced to only 6 local governments. in Ogun State? What happened to all the systems that we are? People don't understand what this shall be fought for. So when you hear you say Egba, that's our own Abraham Lincoln, our own something. Who fought for the Egbas to be independent of all the problems of Nigeria. But our joining Nigeria in 1915 has reduced us to not a stakeholder anymore. So all these things are there. As it is happening to the Yorubas, it's happening within the Egbas, within the Nigerian context. So that's why I was saying that if we must have zones in Nigeria, we should make it seven zones instead of 6 zones. Split the Southwest into 2 and make the whole Egba United Government a zone itself, so that we can be 7. Because the way they plan the system in Nigeria now, if we miss it we may not be there for the next 32 years. 32 years. Jonathan plus Buhari 8, Buhari plus Buhari plus something. That's 16. The next person is from the east. That will be 24. Then the power goes back to the north. That's 32. Before we can even see somebody from the southwest or the Yoruba one. So that's why you guys need to support the man that is trying to be there. If you want,
I can tell you on behalf of all the Yoruba campaigners, that's never going to happen.
If they don't support, whether we like it or not,
and I've just said to
there will be an election.
Chief, I've just said to you,
there will be an election.
It's just somebody asking you, tell me few things. Why we should not leave Nigeria, why Yoruba people should not go. Tell me few reasons.
I'm not saying
why we should remain in bondage.
How do you want to live? How do you want to live?
We are on our way out.
How?
We are going to declare our nation, and then we definitely going to get support. We are getting support from outside, and I don't know among any Yoruba person that knows what the Constitution of Nigeria says against us, that want to support us, that they want not to support us. So I want to, and that's why I'm asking you, tell me a few reasons why we should remain in bondage. We should remain
I have told you what Yorubas are losing.
We are not we are losing
by
because
being part of Nigeria, by being in this country. I told you what we are losing. We have been reduced from 3.5% ownership to 16%.
Isn't that more reason why we have to leave?
I know. I said, what is the exit plan? That is the problem I have. Exit plan.
The exit
without
plan
going to war.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Without sacrificing millions of people to die. Because if we fight and we lose, hold on, we will be back behind the Igbos in the line of talk. That for 40 or 50 years after the Civil War, they've not been able to find. If we are going in, we better learn to win.
Of course, we are going to win.
It's not a situation where you can just go in and then everybody now take his own children and run.
No,
because everybody talking for this thing, they all have their children locked up overseas. You understand?
Yes. So you don't have any few reasons to tell me that we should remain in bondage. So
no, I'm not saying hold on. I'm not saying we should not leave.
Okay.
I'm looking at the exit plan.
That I cannot discuss with you on this program.
Thank you.
I will not be able to discuss that with you on this program. And I must say, I have been able to take you through the mind of this host, this person, and because I know you, I have no doubt in my mind that you are all for the SC, because it is when we are out of this contraption that people like the Yoruba people can get more. I know your children, they can get more and more from you, from my family, from everybody, and everybody can benefit. It was just like somebody was saying to me, you started changing your prime minister like you are changing your trousers and your shirts. And I say, well, as far as I'm concerned, there's a structure, there's a system in place that whether they change the prime minister of UK 20 times, it's not going to affect my pension, it's not going to affect my Medicare, it's not going to affect my 3 square meal, it's not going to affect anything in my life. So at the end of the day, I'm still going to be here enjoying good life at my own level. So, and that's exactly what we're looking to do, we're looking for our people. Our people have suffered enough. And like I said, they're in such a contraption where a small segment, I see them as segment, because a couple of times when we ask them to legitimize how they come about the majority, it has always been the military that has made enough majority. And if you add the South, the Southwest together, you are still in minority. They always be in majority. And that has to stop. And that's why I think we have to go. Now, towards the end, I wanted to appreciate you. And again, I think this is the first 2-3 times you've been on my program. We've known each other for a while now. And like I said, I started by saying, you will agree that part of the problem we are having in Nigeria is because rule of law is not working. People just do whatever they like, and they get away with murder. They always do in such a way that what can you do? We also been able to talk about institutions. One of the institutions is EFCC, and one of the organs of government is also like the police. And the police has not been very effective because the way it's structured in the constitution. Chief, I want to thank you very, very much because I wanted to make this program to be a 1.5 hours thing, and then for some other time, I have known that in my mind. When I call you again, you'll be my guest. You'll be too happy to honor me. I want to appreciate you. I just want to give you the last maybe 2 minutes as your parting words. Tell me again why Yoruba people should not leave the contraption Nigeria. Tell me, that would be your parting words for my viewers.
One of the best ways, if they want to challenge the Yoruba ways of living the republic, is to wait for a time when you have a conducive president, a president who would think like Gorbachev. When you out, they were about to split it. A Gorbachev gave them the opportunity without going to war. If we have a president from the South who can understand the problems we have, he can provide for it. Then any other method, it requires a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifices, and bloodshed. For example, if we put our case before the United Nations, I know we have 5 countries with veto power on most of the things that they can do. Do we have them on our side? And what are the procedures? And I had a man representing Nigeria to be able to table it in National Assembly in the United Nations. It's not from the South. So if we wait a little bit after this election, and we put in place somebody who can have our feeling, who can feel like us as president, we may be able to solve most of the problems that we have in the South. But no president will feel the same feeling with us. Because what we are asking for is a challenge to their control. So people who are saying it's not going to behave like Bada. So that's the way I look.
I thank you for allowing me to come. Yes, I want to thank you again, and I want to appreciate you. And just like a kind of also a closing remark, I have no doubt in my mind that we can continue to say because of this, of course, I know that things like these are not given in the platter of gold. I appreciate the era of Gorbachev in the USSR in the 90s when he negotiated, when he agreed to. But then the difference between Gorbachev era and Gorbachev as a citizen of Russian, we don't have that kind of trait in our own people, because like I said, it will have not cost anything after the 100 years had come to expired that we agreed, because the arrangement, the caveat was to sit down and discuss our problem and say, has it been working for us? If it has not been working, let us rearrange and readdress things. I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you. And like I said, I hope next time around when I come your way, we'll be able to have another chat relating to and about Nigeria, Yoruba. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome.
God bless you. Bye-bye. So that's how it's been. It's been about 1 hour and 35 minutes chatting with my friend, someone I've known for years, and I've been able to not only rub minds with him, but just talk, discuss issues affecting Nigeria, Yoruba. And I want to thank all you viewers. For those of you who, for whatever reason, maybe you have another program tonight and you have not been able to direct or mommy not to watch program, help me share it. Let other people also have a look at what we discussed, and then hopefully next time when I bring another guest, I will again let you know. Please share, subscribe to my channel, because the advantage of all that is every time I come on here, at least the system will send you a message, say what OtunbaHOOLatest is about starting a program. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.